Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I have just a short little video for you of me taking apart my really fun and colorful unicorn puzzle. So I am actually traveling right now, so I had this clip saved on my phone. I thought it would be fun just to add a little voiceover, and I think that the puzzle sounds are really relaxing. I think the scratching on the puzzle pieces is really nice, and it's actually quite satisfying taking apart a puzzle. So I hope that you enjoy watching that process as well. And I had actually pre-filmed my microphone test video that went out on Monday, but I didn't have anything for Thursday. So I wanted to just do a quick little voiceover for this video, tapping and tracing on this puzzle and putting it away. This unicorn puzzle took me quite a long time to complete, and I did record that for videos, so I'll link that here if you're interested in watching those. I think I had to split it into 2 videos, but this one was really fun. This was a thrifted puzzle that I bought, and whenever you buy thrifted puzzles, there's always a little bit of a chance that there are some missing pieces, and sadly this one did have missing pieces. However, I found a tutorial online that showed me how to kind of like recreate the puzzle pieces, and it's basically, I had just like photocopied the poster for this puzzle, and then I did a like high quality print of that particular section. So there were 2 sections in this puzzle that had 2 missing pieces, and I think that they turned out pretty good, but here I am removing those sections, and I decided to put those pieces in just a separate little bag so that they didn't get mixed up, because they also did not fit perfectly. They weren't like the most satisfying of fits. I glued, basically it was like a cereal cardboard box. I cut that up into small squares and glued multiples of those together to be able to get to the thickness of these, like the original puzzle pieces. And then I glued the image on top, and I did also have to do a little bit of coloring on them because the color was just slightly off with the ink on the printer, so I just took my color pencils and kind of like made them a little bit more like so they matched a little bit better. And I know that some people prefer to just basically fold up their puzzle and put it in the box, but because I'm donating this, I wanted to make sure that I could kind of separate the pieces as much as possible. That way, whoever gets this puzzle after me will be able to just kind of jump right in without having to do all of this prep work. And I personally think that it's really satisfying anyways, having to take off these big chunks of puzzle, and it's just like tearing it away. It's so satisfying. This one was a pretty tough puzzle for some sections, and I thought that the outer edge, basically like anywhere that wasn't the unicorn head, was going to be harder, but all of the flowers were actually slightly unique, and all of the butterflies were slightly unique, so it made it actually pretty easy and straightforward finding pieces that, like, I was able to kind of figure out exactly where they were supposed to go in the image. Whereas when I first got the puzzle, I kind of thought that they were going to be lots of repeats and that the design was just going to be like really, really difficult to kind of figure out exactly where everything was, but it ended up working out really fine. The most difficult part was all of the swirls in the unicorn's mane, and I think the unicorn head also took me a bit of time, but that was also a little bit easier to pick out the puzzle pieces for, so it's kind of a trade-off. But it was like the unicorn head was a very unique color, so it was very easy for me to rifle through puzzle pieces and kind of pick out what I needed for that section, whereas basically the rest of the puzzle was just kind of like all similar colors and styles and shades, so it was a little bit harder. I really do love jigsaw puzzles. I think that they are very, very satisfying to complete, and I have actually quite a few thrifted jigsaw puzzles, and I think that most of the time, I have one thrifted puzzle that I haven't completed yet, so I can't speak to that one, but the others that I've had surprisingly had all of the pieces in them, so that's really, really great to see. But it's one of those things where it's just a bit of a gamble. You get a cheap puzzle, but there might be puzzle pieces missing, and you don't get the really satisfying ending to it. But I thought it was still pretty fun to put together even with those missing pieces. Just kind of rifling through the puzzle pieces and separating out any groupings that I see. As you can see, I didn't really slow down my movements very much. I was just kind of going about it as I normally would. I wanted to just kind of set up my camera and see, if I ever wanted to do anything with the footage, then I'd at least have it. I think the cardboard sounds of all of the puzzle pieces, like hitting together and like shuffling around and rummaging, like it's so like tingly for me. I don't see too much jigsaw puzzle ASMR, but I do have one ASMR channel that I love to watch, and I think her channel used to be called Jen's ASMR Unboxing, but I think it's just Jen's ASMR now, and I believe that she lives in France, but she does not have a French accent. I don't recall exactly where her accent is from, but I love her voice, and she did a few videos of just scratching and tapping along a finished puzzle, and I think she's done a few now, and they're just so relaxing. She has the best taps. Like, I love her tapping videos, but the puzzle ones are just like so relaxing, and she always has these really, really long, beautiful nails, and she's just like scratching and tapping along on all of the puzzle pieces, and it's just so nice. So I've got these all separated out now, at least pretty well. So I'm just going to start putting these back in the box, and I'm kind of filtering them out through my hands just to see if I come across any that are still stuck together. I think my next puzzle is probably going to be a 500-piece puzzle, or smaller if I can. But this one was, I think, 750 pieces, and it definitely took me a bit longer than I was expecting. But it was a fun one to do. Just kind of gathering these last few pieces from the table. And there we go. We've now got all of the pieces back in the puzzle box. And I'm going to put the poster and the DIY pieces on the top and put away the box. Well, I hope that you found this short little video a little bit relaxing. I should be back next week with some slightly longer videos again. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.